I got a question on this video from my first sponsor on GitHub. Samir is asking, I wanted to share a suggestion for your YouTube channel. I was wondering if you could consider creating a video that demonstrates how to generate an individually designed tattoo. It could be based on factors such as mental, physical, and psychological state of the person, or even inspired by a piece of poetry, a name, or a date of birth. That is a very interesting idea. I replied to Samer, that is an interesting topic. I never thought about it. So you want to generate a single tattoo that you can print on a real body, or to tattoo an image using AI? The answer was to use it as a normal body tattoo. This can be appealing to tattoo galleries, artists, and private individuals seeking distinctive body art, and I totally agree. But this idea was totally new to me. I would like to invite you to an exploration of AI generated tattoo art. What you see here is my experiment in tattoo design. So first I started with SDXL Lightning, and I did not add a LoRA. LoRA stands for LoRa Fine Tuning, which is a technology used to introduce some bias, or what we can also call some experience in AI towards a specific type of generation, or a specific type of photography, or a specific style in the result. The first two images are generated with SDXL Lightning without any LoRA. The prompt on the right is abstract tattoo on a white background, woman in love. On the left, the prompt is abstract tattoo on a white background. That's it. So in the next few slides, I will change the LoRA with the same model and the same prompt for the left and for the right. So now we have a LoRA called Tattoo LoRA 01. And I'll show you all these and how to generate all these drawings at the end of the video. Here we have like what we can say that is a woman in love, and here we have an abstract image for a tattoo on a white background. This is a different LoRA. Now this LoRA is Diablo tattoo, apparently regarding horror stuff. We got an interesting woman in love. The abstract design was heavily biased by the LoRA. We still have the same model, and we have the same even seed so far. I changed the seed later after this one. Here we have a tattoo gen, which does not influence much the result. I like tattoo gen the most because it influenced the model only regarding the style, not the content of the images. I changed the seed here for this LoRA because it generated like some nude body parts for the woman in love. So I had to change the seed. So on the left, we see the style of this LoRA, and we can see on the right the same style in different places. This is another LoRA called Marushin Style AnyXL, and apparently this is trained on anime, or specializes in anime. So we got the lady is more like an anime style. The abstract design was not very much influenced by the LoRA. This LoRA had a huge influence on the result. This is Andrew style LoRA, and you can see the influence it had on the results, and you can see also the style, like these black spaces here and here and here, these black thick lines. You can see them in both designs. This is a different LoRA, and this also influenced the result heavily. And by the way, the strength of the LoRas that I used all around all these experiments is 0.7. Another LoRa that is called Victor Style. This is not a tattoo LoRa, but this generates art that is similar to pencil style. And here you see in all these, you see that we have white background. We have some grayness in here and here, but when I used a different type of prompt instead of abstract tattoo on white background, I did not get this clean background before. This is to compare between multiple models. So we have SDXL Lightning on the right, and the prompt is abstract tattoo on a white background, very sad and angry. Sweden joins NATO. And you see the NATO logo is apparent here. You see these here, they are similar to the NATO logo. We see the same here, and as you see, this Andrew LoRA has a huge influence on the model, because we are using very different models here, and we got images that look very similar to each other. This circle here, and the arrows from the NATO style, the mouth here, even the nose, this eye here and here. So we have very similar output, although this comes from two different models. The reason is they both use the LoRA, and the LoRA here had a high influence. I increased the LoRa's influence to 1. Those are completely different models. Those are Dream Shaper and Real Vision. We still have similarities, although the models are completely different. The seed is the same, but the models are different, and the results look very similar to each other. Now, these are my first experiments when I started working with that. The prompt here is different, the image size is different, and the model itself is different. So here I am using SDXL Lightning 8 steps. Before I was using SDXL Lightning 4 steps generation. And the LoRA here is Tattoo Gen, and I was experimenting with the prompt here. So the prompt I used is abstract tattoo, very sad and angry, Sweden going to war, white empty background. And I really like the result I got here. You see, this looks like a pen, and this looks like a sword, the pen and the sword. And this is interesting. I think this qualifies as an interesting tattoo. This is also another interesting tattoo from the same model and a different prompt. Abstract tattoo, very sad and angry, Sweden joining NATO, white empty background. We still see the NATO style here, but it looks abstract, more abstract. The prompt here, same model, same LoRA, abstract tattoo, very sad and angry, Sweden joining NATO, white background. Different seed and completely different result. I think we can see a bat here. This is a change in the prompt. Abstract tattoo, very sad and angry, Sweden joining NATO, black ink on white background. And I think this also is an interesting output, and it qualifies for an interesting tattoo. We still see the NATO logo here and here, but we see the tear in the shape of a tear that represents sadness, and we see also these flanks here. Let's see how we generate these images. So this is the basic workflow that I have explained multiple times before. We have a model, and we have two prompts, positive and negative, and we have a latent image. This will be our input. We pass all these to assembler, and the output will be decoded with the VAE from the model, and we see the end result. The prompt I supplied here was tattoo on white background, very sad and angry, Sweden joins NATO. So now I want to test this same settings, with the same settings here, with the same prompt, with a LoRA, To add a LoRA, I can double click and search for LoRA, and I choose the first result, load LoRA. I connect the model to the LoRA, and from the LoRA, I connect to the sampler. Then instead of clipping the text prompt from the model, I want to use the clip from the LoRA, and I also pass the clip to the LoRA. So now I have the LoRA between the model and my inputs and the result. So this is how the LoRA influences the result. And if I queue the prompt now, we still have even a fixed seed. We have a fixed everything. So we will get, the result we'll get is only influenced by the LoRA, because the LoRA is the only parameter that we changed here. Let's see what we get. I do not know what we are getting now. So let's see. This is the end result, and I think it represents the prompt, very sad and angry, and Sweden joins NATO. We could think that this result like represents this prompt. Now let's change the LoRA. I want to change it to another SDXL tattoo LoRA. Let's see what we get now. This is what we got only by changing the LoRA. Apparently this influenced the model a lot. So I will change it once more and we'll see the result. We got a weird result here, although the only thing we are changing in these experiments is the LoRA. So I can even change the weight or the influence of the LoRA. The best results I got were when I used 0.7 for the LoRa weight, and I maintained 1 for the text prompts. We are getting weird results about NATO, but you see we have a NATO logo here. Now I want to show you where I got these LoRAs, the LoRa that I have. So they come from a site called civit.ai. If you go to civit.ai, you need to open an account and you search for tattoo here. I search for tattoo, and we see many results related to tattoos. We can, for example, I use SDXL Lightning and SDXL1. So I limit the search results to these two, and I get many of the LoRAs that I used in this episode. Of course, like the results are plenty. I can also filter by models, by specific models, but I did not find any model that are trained on the models that on the base model that I use. I found some models. I removed this. I found some models, but these models were specialized on generating tattoos on bodies, like images that are tattooed, not generating tattoo designs. So they did not produce anything interesting with the prompts that I supplied. Feel free to explore these models. Many of them are free. You can download them, and there is documentation in the model. In most of the model, there is documentation on how to use them. For example, here. I think this worked fine without it. If you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. I produce, in addition to AI videos, I produce videos for developers and for automating development environments. I hope this satisfies my sponsor, my first sponsor. This answers his question, and if you have other questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy a previous video where we designed a social media personality, or a previous video when we explored AI art for kids. I hope to meet you in a previous video or in a next video.